Hey, good afternoon, evening, everybody. Uneducated Economist. I was really hoping that we were going to get a sunset today, but no sunset. We get nothing but clouds. But that's okay. Really peaceful out here. The water's really still. I like that. So the Federal Reserve had a press conference yesterday, and I was going to do a breakdown of the press conference, but really there was just two things in there that I thought that were just generally really important that I thought I would just make a video on just those key 2 points. The first one, real simple. He reiterated how the U.S. federal debt is a serious problem, and that what did he say here? It's on an unsustainable path, and that it's a serious problem, and in the long run, if we don't do something about it, all we're going to end up doing is paying interest, and that's all we'll end up paying on it. All our money will go to interest, is what he said. But what I really wanted to talk about was something different. Now, I put out a video yesterday basically contradicting every single thing that everybody is saying today, and they're going on saying how the Fed has gone dovish because it has halted back on its interest rate hikes, right? Because it was doing this quarter point interest rate hike to try and get interest rates to go up, right? It was doing this quarter point every quarter, and they ended that. But there was something that was said in there, and I heard it, and I was like, you know, I got to go back and I got to check that out. I got to figure out what he's saying there, right? And it's mentioned twice, okay? At 4 minutes and 40 seconds, he talks about the abundant floor system, right? Or abundant system. And then again, it's reiterated at 41 minutes and 35 seconds. He goes in, he's kind of hesitant, but then he says it, right? And he talks about this abundant reserve system. And I want to read you something that I found out of Seeking Alpha, right? So if you look down in the links down in the description, you'll find the article to the Seeking Alpha. And there's a section in here I want to read to you, right? And it says this. It says, the difference between abundant and limit reserves is that in the former, the interest rate is no longer chiefly determined by the supply of reserves as it is in the limited reserve system. Rather, it is determined by the interest on excess reserves set by the Fed. The interest on reserves together with the overnight reserve repo program set the minimum level for the effective fund rate. Thus providing guidance for the effective run rate to stay close to the Fed's policy target. This divorce between the supply of reserves and the interest rate target allows the Fed to keep a sizable balance sheet while they are raising rates. Okay, so it's kind of complicated to talk about right there, but basically what's going on is that the Fed fund rate is the rate in which the bigger banks loan their excess reserves to one another. And the Fed fund rate is a target rate, right? It's not the actual rate. The actual rate is the effective fund rate, okay? That's what the banks end up actually loaning it to each other. Now, there is a program with a repossession of a security, right? So, like, the Fed will buy a security with the promise to resell it back to them. It's this. It's hard to explain. I'm going to put a link down in there. Maybe I'll do a video just on this repurchase program thing because it's too hard to explain just in a single thing. It would take me forever. But I'll put the link down in there for the description, both for the Seeking Alpha article and for the Fed's description of that program, that repossession, that repo program. What do they call it again? Overnight reverse repo program. It's kind of confusing, but anyway, with this program, they end up effectively taking that what would normally be used as the effective fund rate for this excess reserves that the banks would loan to one each other. Because they have so much reserves on hand, they don't really need to loan it to one another, right? There's no banks in need of these reserves that these have, because normally it would go for the ones that have it, go to the ones that need it, right? But if everybody has an abundant amount, a saturated level of it, then everybody doesn't need these reserves. So somebody needs to take the excess off of it, and that's where this reverse repossession program comes in, where the Fed will buy them. Okay, I think I did it there. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll put the links down below. This is the reason why I feel that the interest rates that, they might say that the federal fund rates are staying here, but I feel that the interest rates that you're going to be paying for your new car or a house or something like that, that stuff's going up. All right? Uneducated Economist, talk to you later.